One of the major themes of the report this year was the fact that there are these protest movements all over the world.
Yeah.
You have probably the most famously in Hong Kong, where 3 million people hit the streets last summer to really insist on their rights. And to me, that was one of the most moving events in a long time.
Absolutely.
Because these are people who have everything to lose, but really, by the way, they're very inspired by our country too.
Yeah.
Without much interference or approach. I really think the United States has kind of been hands off, despite what the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
People look to the United States, and that's very inspiring. But you have Hong Kong, you have Sudan, where there was a peaceful revolt that resulted in the ouster of the longtime dictator there. There have been protests in Iran, Russia, Lebanon, Iraq, Bolivia. Really, there are many countries that have something happened in the last year that caused this. And I think what's interesting when we use the word a leaderless struggle, I think we had two things in mind. One was that actually in some of these cases, these are authentic bottom-up movements.
Yeah.
In Hong Kong in particular, there is no single leader. A lot of this stuff is being done through online communications and crowdsourcing, and there's not like a Mandela or a Valenza kind of orchestrating things.
Yeah.
So that's one element of this. I think the other element of it is that I think we do see, and I want to be careful here, but I do believe this, that there is a lack of support from the world's democracies in these protest movements. It's not the major thing that Great Britain or America or France or Germany are thinking about these days. The countries that are blessed with freedom, we think are not showing leadership in really defending the rights of these protesters. So I think those were the sense in which we thought this year.
Yeah, and I think there's a line there that I struggle with as a libertarian, and I don't really think that America's foreign policy should be as world policeman or enforcer of our democratic values, because I think it becomes very quickly a slippery slope where we make things worse a lot of times when we do stuff like that. But on the other hand, in cases like China and Hong Kong, I don't think it's helpful when President Trump sends President Xi a love Twitter that says, congratulations on whatever the anniversary of communism in China is. That's a very un-Reagan thing to do, and there's a balance between being sort of needlessly antagonistic towards countries where you should have diplomatic communications and the conversation should be going without just giving them a blank check.